Welcome back to Kinesis PT and Performance. I'm Ryan, and today we're going to be talking about core strength and function. Now, a lot of people have misconceptions of what a strong and functional core looks like. Magazines, social media, Instagram, whatever, make us tend to believe that this looks like a six-pack with really ripped obliques and this huge rectus abdominis. That's not a bad thing, but that does not equate to a functional or strong core. Now, before we get into how the core works, we have to understand how a pressurized system works. The example I use with a lot of my patients and clients is a soda can. Now, as kids, we were always perplexed why you could stand on a soda can when it was closed, but as soon as you open it up, it'd crumble. We thought it was so cool. You could stand there on this flimsy tin can, but it could withstand the weight of your body. Now, why is that? It's because when the can is closed, we have a pressurized system. Okay, the soda inside the can, when you stand on it, cannot be compressed anymore. Therefore, when you stand on it, it pushes into the walls and we have a stable structure. Our core needs to function that same way. With that being said, as soon as you open the top and release the pressure, that flimsy can cannot withstand any type of pressure. It crumbles. Our core is the same way. As soon as we lose the proper postural alignment and we lose those internal pressures, our ability to withstand compression or torsion significantly decreases. Now, the muscular canister within our abdominal cavity needs to cover all the sides, meaning we have to have a top, 360 around the sides, and a bottom. So most people, they think about the obliques, they might think about the transverse abdominus, they often overlook the pelvic floor and the diaphragm. We have to have a top and a bottom to our canister, otherwise we cannot regulate those pressures. So again, we have our transverse abdominus in the front, kind of acts like a corset. You have your internal and external obliques on the side, multifidi in the back, a diaphragm acting as the top, and your pelvic floor musculature acting as the bottom of this muscular canister. Now, these muscles have to be lined up to be able to properly regulate pressures. This is directly linked with your respiratory system because your diaphragm is the primary muscle of respiration. So as you take a breath in, your diaphragm comes down. As it descends, it is going to push on your abdominal organs. When it presses down into the organs, it increases pressure within your abdominal cavity. This is a good thing. This helps us create a stable foundation and base from which to move. This is not a helpful thing when we're unable to regulate those pressures. An example of this, I'm sure everybody has seen it. You see somebody go and sit up or stand up and they fart accidentally. I used to see clients do this all the time in the clinic and act like nothing happened because they're embarrassed. It's just their inability to regulate pressures within their core. So as the diaphragm presses down, they engage their musculature. They didn't have proper recruitment of the pelvic floor to help control that pressure. If they did, we wouldn't hear them farting. So circling back, as you breathe in, the diaphragm comes down. It pushes onto the abdominal context. We have to have a reflexive contraction of the pelvic floor and also your internal, external obliques, your transverse abdominis, and your multifidi. When all those muscles function together, then we've created a solid muscular canister from which you can produce force and motion. This is easier said than done. A lot of people have faulty respiration patterns that automatically put them into a position that doesn't allow them to have a functional core. If you're doing sit-ups all day, especially over like a Bosu ball or a Swiss ball, you're not promoting proper alignment of these muscles so you can create that canister. So in this next video, what we're going to show you is an exercise that links respiration and a correct alignment between the diaphragm, pelvic floor, transverse abdominis, obliques, and multifidi so you can create that canister and a foundation from which to move. Hope this gave you guys a little bit of insight in terms of how the core is supposed to function. Stay tuned for more. Thanks for watching.